the art department to make the characters in the film what they ultimately ended up being. How many saw the movie then yesterday? Almost everybody? Alright, so you know what I'm talking about. So me and Brian Bowler and some people were involved with the tone of the movie early on, some script things, and just the type of movie Hasbro wanted to have made. In about late November, right after Thanksgiving, I went out and worked 2 months in the art department. And this is where it was when we got there. They were working, the guys in the art department were working on a new style, this intricate, real look. So this represents where they were at the time. You know some differences right away. Optimus, is blue. Different head. Ratchet's a whole different design and more color. Bumblebee certainly. RC was still in kind of the development phase. They were trying to figure out what a female Transformer would look like. There was the script wasn't finished yet, so they didn't know who was going to be in it and whatnot. Ultimately, she was dropped. This was as far as it went. Another character, Wreckage, which became a toy, was dropped as well. And all these were form studies. It wasn't like they were dropped. They were never in the script, but they're cool designs regardless. Barricade, which at the time was being called Brawl, was going to be a Crown Victoria, became a Mustang. So you can see it's just testing out this new look. So I came in to educate. So we have this new look that the studio wants to go for. My job then was to overlay what we know about Transformers on top of that new style. So you can see here, this demonstrates where they were, and you can see that right away there's no familiar elements here. There's no windows, there's no tires, there's no hood. All the car details have been left out. This would be a very difficult toy for me to try to make. I have to deal with physics, so this wouldn't work. And this isn't familiar with what a Transformer is. This is a great robot that could be in any other property, but not Transformers, right? So I overlaid with that new style those details. So adding back in the headlights, the Autobot logo, the doors, the different cannons, to show them what Transformers in their new style will look like. This image here represents toy scale. Our scale is a little bit different in product than it would be in any other animation or film. And this was to demonstrate how big a departure would be the closer they stayed with this style to what a final toy would be. The goal for everyone involved was to make the movie and the products match as close as possible. And ultimately, I think we did a very good job of that, but we kind of had to go through this education process to get to that point. With that, we picked our battles. The new characters that came along, Bone Crusher, Brawl, those kind of characters, we didn't have as much involvement in. We were fine with whatever direction they went. We helped with the names a little bit here and there, but those characters weren't as important as the heritage G1 type characters, like Bumblebee, Megatron, Optimus, and Jazz. You can see where they started. Optimus doesn't have a blue head, doesn't have the side ears. We worked with Don Figueroa a little bit. I had him come into the art department with me to try to do a hybrid of the two styles. We did that over there with Bumblebee as well. I did ultimately getting to a place where we're starting to get into the ballpark that was somewhat familiar, their G1 theme, and then that here represents where we ended up. I think we ended up in most places, but it shows we kind of had to pick our battles. It wasn't about putting the G1 head in the film. We weren't trying to make G1 a movie. We were trying to make this generation's most awesome movie possibly made. So this is where we ended up. Jazz here. It wasn't important that there was a Porsche or that there was racing stripes or the number 4 on the side, but he was a sporty car, a cool dude, and had the visor. And the visor is in the film in a couple different points. So that's how we picked our battles. Early on, this stuff is online.